go to the front door, and that's when he opened the door, and he just, like, in my face, like, don't be disrespecting me, don't be doing that. And I'm just like, okay, bro, you need to get out of my face, first of all. And he just said, okay, well, you know what? Forget it, I'm leaving. I took him, I didn't touch him or hurt him. It was never aggressive. I just wanted my things back. And I didn't touch him or choke him or anything. And at this point, he had his forearm on my neck, so at this point, I can't breathe.
No, ma'am.
I told him, get off of me. DeVon, you're hurting me, you're choking me, I cannot breathe. Please get off of me, get off of me. And then at this point, he's standing over me. I'm still on the floor, and I'm telling him to get off of me. And then that's when he did a closed fist and hit me right here on the side of my face. I pushed him away. I said, get out, get out. I don't want you here, get out, please get out. So at this point, I'm shoving him away from me.
Okay, so again, he's standing there and you're pushing him.
Yes. I said, why did you hit me? Why would you hit me like this? Like, why? And then he just kept going back and forth.
He's hitting me. I have no phone. He took my phone. He took everything, and I'm helpless. So I'm trying to get out of here, but I need proof. This is proof. He can go on me. I have blood everywhere. I have blood everywhere. Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm scared, dude. He is crazy. He is really, really crazy.
Don't skip this video. This court case has a twist you'll never see coming. By the end, you have to decide whether the judge got it right. Please stay till final verdict.
You and Miss Williams have known each other since middle school?
Yes, ma'am. Since middle school, we've known each other.
The papers suggest that sometime later, the two of you developed a romantic relationship and you started to live together in 2015.
Yes, ma'am. November 16, 2015.
And you have 2 children together.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
It appears that there was an incident in your home and you were arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
You were arrested for an assault. Was there a weapon that you were arrested for?
No, ma'am, there was no weapon I was arrested for.
It was just an assault?
Yes, ma'am, assault on family member.
Okay. So, Miss Williams, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Because Mr. Clarence ultimately was acquitted of all of those charges.
Yes.
And that was after a trial.
Yes.
Mr. Williams says that as a result of your allegations, not only did he suffer damages himself, but he wasn't able to see the 2 children for a while because you had requested a restraining order, which was then granted, but later vacated.
It was a protective order, and yes.
And it covered the children?
Correct.
Just for my own information, how long, Miss Williams, did the protective order last so that Mr. Clarence couldn't see the children?
It was for 3 years, but he was able to see the children through visitation.
But how long was it that he did not see the children because of the protective order? Because that's part of his lawsuit.
Okay, so it was...
Mr. Clarence, how long in actuality was it that as a result of the restraining order, you could not see the children?
2 years.
2 years?
Mm-hmm.
That you didn't see them at all?
At all.
It was 2 years.
Okay. So you were living in a home together.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
On Valentine's Day, there was an argument.
Correct.
You called the police.
Correct.
The police responded and told you to leave the house for a while.
Yes.
And you did leave the house.
I did leave with my daughter.
But you have 2 children.
2 children because they told us that we had to split children, or one stays with the other parent, the other one comes with me.
Okay, so you have 2 kids, a girl who's how old?
She was 2 at the time.
And a boy?
He was 4 at the time.
So the boy stayed with his father.
Mm-hmm.
And you left with your daughter overnight.
Right.
Did you come back?
The next morning, yes.
She actually came back that same time at 2 a.m.
Well, the next morning, that's 2 a.m. Don't interrupt again.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So you came back early in the morning.
Yes.
And what happened when you came back?
I stayed in my vehicle with my daughter because I didn't want to go into the apartment. And then...
Eventually you went into the apartment?
Yes.
What time did you go into the apartment?
Which was 7 o'clock in the morning.
And that was on the 15th of February?
Correct.
Who was home when you got home on the 15th of February?
It was DeVon and our son.
Was there any problem on the 15th?
The 15th was when me and him had got into it as far as verbal altercation. He didn't like what I had said to him, and we just started going off, and he came to a point where he just got mad and said, well, you know, why would you say anything like that? You know, I don't care about you. And then we started getting into another argument. Then that's when he had brought out a knife and put it on the kitchen counter and said, if you want to kill yourself, go ahead. I don't care.
did not say
Okay,
that.
just a second. That was the 15th.
Yes.
Miss Williams, you know, most couples have arguments. So something had to have precipitated his statement, because according to what you just told me, Mr. Clarence didn't take out a knife, according to what you said, and threaten you with it. He said to you, according to you, if you want to kill yourself, here's a mechanism to use it. What had you said to him immediately prior to that that inspired that? He told you he didn't love you anymore, he didn't want to be with you anymore, and
that's when he said he didn't care.
He didn't care, and you
about me
said-
at all. And so that's when he had took out the
he
knife.
said he didn't. No, you had to say something to him that says, well, if that's the way you feel, you go kill yourself. But you had to have said something to him before.
Right. It was the argument started with the kids, but then when he said that, you know, I didn't want you here anyway, you know, it's just, you know, the relationship is pretty much dead, so there's no reason to stay. And if you want to leave, you can leave.
Is that what he said to you, or is that what you
I
said
to him.
Oh, you said to him. Okay. And then?
And then that's when he said, well, you know, I don't love you no more. I don't care for you. You know.
You said that. And then what happened?
And then afterwards, that's when he had went in the kitchen, because I barely remember what happened after that, because all I know is that when he had went into the kitchen, that's when he came back and said,
okay,
you know, you can kill yourself.
Do you recall taking a knife and putting it either on a counter or on a tabletop and saying, if you want to kill yourself?
No, ma'am, I don't recall that.
Okay. But at that point, the police were not called. This was the day after the police had been called. This is February 15th. And Mr. Clarence left the house.
Right.
Right.
So
He left on the 15th. Did he come back?
A week after.
So he was gone for 1 week. That brings us to the 20th. Did you communicate with him during that week?
Yes.
By phone?
Yes, text message.
Do you have copies of the text message?
I do not.
Do you have copies? I'd like to see the messages that were
So this is the first
traded
on February.
in that week's period of time.
And I also do have my
Just-
text messages pulled up here on my phone. I don't
What?
get a hard copy.
Okay, good. Tell me if this is what it says. You say to him, I need my keys ASAP, please. That's a week after he left.
Correct.
What keys had he taken from you?
He had taken my house key and my mother's home key. It was on my keychain.
Okay. How did you get into the house for a week?
I never left because he had it.
You mean for a week you weren't out of the house at all?
At all. I had my kids. I lost my job. So I was at home. I had no reason to leave, really.
Just a second. When did you lose your job?
I lost my job a week prior because of the money he had taken out of the account that I was going to pay for to insure my job, because I had little legal issues with my job.
Well, tell me about that. That's not in here.
Yeah.
As far as,
Losing your job had nothing to do with him.
no, it had everything. Because the reason being is the fact that I didn't have the money, because I was a delivery driver. So I had to pay off a certain citation that I was cited for.
What citation that you were cited for?
It was speeding.
Okay,
citation.
so you got a speeding ticket, which you had to pay. He didn't force you to speed. You did that yourself.
Right. However,
Okay,
I had
so,
to.
and you can't be a driver if they're going to take away your license.
That was the thing. So I had needed the money. He had taken that money out of there and used it to pay somebody else.
I don't know what you're talking about. Taking it out of where? A joint
Out
account?
of a joint account. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The reason you lost your job had nothing to do with him. The reason you lost your job is because you drove in a way that you got a speeding ticket. Now let's get back to the 20th. So you needed your house keys and your mother's house keys, which he had taken with him.
Yes.
Did you take the house keys?
No, ma'am. The keys that were inside the house were to her mother's house, but her mother had changed the locks previously before. So really, they were just throwaway keys, and the keys were just sitting inside of my glove box for months.
But you went by and you returned the keys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He had
now I
taken
want
those
you to, what?
keys. He had taken those keys
I
prior
did not.
because he's always taking things of my possession.
Okay.
That's not true.
So,
you
yeah.
asked him for your keys back, which means that during that interim period, the only text messages I see here, you asked him to come back to the house and bring you your keys. And I assume, since there is no history, that your mother's never had a history with him.
Oh, yeah.
A violent history?
It's not a violent, but more so, she had her issues. They both had
I don't
the
care whether they
issues.
had their issues. So if you needed your keys back, he could have dropped them off at your mother's. He didn't have to bring them to you.
But she didn't allow him on the premises. That's why.
Well, why would you have invited him back on the 20th if you had such a miserable experience on Valentine's Day?
I didn't expect for him to sit there and...
There was an alternative. But he came back on the 20th with the keys. Now, I want you to tell me on the 20th, because this is your counterclaim, you actually claim that he assaulted you. So I want you to tell me what happened on the 20th.
The 20th, I had asked him for my keys back.
Yes, and he
So
came over.
He came home from work. He had dropped off the key, came in, said hi to the kids, tucked them in bed. I was in a room, but that day I wasn't feeling good. So I had to just, excuse myself to go to the bathroom. So I come back out. I see my phone being tossed on the bed by him as he was sitting there reading messages or whatever. So I didn't say anything about it. He just said, okay, I'm about to go. I said, okay, cool. And he kissed the kids and walked out.
So he kissed the kids and he walked out. He walked into what room?
He walked from the back room, our room where we were sleeping at, me and the kids, and he walked to the front door, out the door. So what happened was...
No, look here.
Yes,
He's leaving.
He's leaving.
And?
In a few moments, he had called me, and he asked me, what time is your job interview for the next day? I told him 8:30, and I asked him why. He said, well, I'm moving out. I'm getting all my things out of the house while you're there. I said, okay, well, why? Because the front office is not going to just let you off the lease,
Well, you want to stay. He hadn't been there for a week.
For just a week, yeah. But I'm just asking because I don't know how we were going to go about it. So that's when he had told me, don't act like I ain't seen you, you ain't seen me reading your messages. I'm tired of you disrespecting me. I'm tired of you disobeying me. I'm tired of you, talking to these dudes or venting and blah, blah, blah. Like, just going at me as if I'm disrespecting him. At this point, you left. So therefore, if I'm talking to a friend, what's the problem? Why are you looking through my phone? And this is nothing that you paid for.
That's true. Snoopy.
Yeah, so you're snooping around. So at this point, he's mad because of what
But he's not in the house.
Yeah, he's not in the house. So afterwards, I say, if you want to leave, stay gone. I don't even care. He hung up in my face. I said, okay, I don't have time for this mess. So I go in the back room, get ready for bed. I put my phone on the charger, and I lay down, and he's knocking on the door really hard. Kids sleep. So I go to the front door, and that's when he opened the door, and he just in my face, don't be disrespecting me, don't be doing that. And I'm just like, okay, bro, you need to get out of my face, first of all. And he just said, okay, well, you know what? Forget it, I'm leaving. I'm just gonna pack my stuff up and I'm leaving. The whole time he's packing his things in the
Okay, so he's
closet.
packing.
Correct. So when he packed his things, he was just, talking, and he went in the back room. And that's when I had followed him in the back room because he was going to take my things. And then that's when he had came out and said, good luck finding your phone charger. Where's my phone charger? Because it's not on the bed. Where's my phone charger, bro? So I blocked him so he could give me my things. And he said, I don't know. I don't know where your phone charger is. DeVon, where's my phone charger? I don't know. Now move. And he did a shoulder thrust. So I'm like, okay, bro. I grabbed his lanyard. He had his work ID. I grabbed his lanyard from around his head.
So you put your hands on him. Just a second, you put your hands on him because the lanyard, that's what it says here.
No.
No, that's what it says in your papers. You acknowledge that.
Oh,
that
okay.
You grabbed his badge, but his badge was on a lanyard that was around his neck. So you put your hands on him.
So yeah, so it was more so to take his things so he could give me back my phone charger. I need it for my job interview.
Which was around his neck.
It was around his neck, and I took his glasses off his face.
And then what happened?
And then that's when he had turned around, dropped all of his things, and he turned around and he started tussling and then try to get his things. So I said, no, give me my
just
phone
a second.
charger.
So far, what I'm hearing is there was lots of nasty stuff going on. He's packing his things, giving you the best possible scenario. He took your phone charger. You didn't see him take your phone charger, but it was on the bed, according to you, and then it wasn't on the bed anymore.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So in response to that, you put your hands on him twice. Once with a lanyard that had his badge on it,
Right.
and then you grabbed his glasses off his face.
But never hurt him. Never.
Just a second. You put your hands on him, not in a happy way. You put your hands on him in an aggressive way.
No.
Because, oh yes, if you grab somebody's glasses off their face, madam, and grab a lanyard from around their neck, that's aggressive. He may not have been hurt as a result of that, but you have to know you're not allowed to put your hands on somebody else in anger.
It was not angry. I took him. I didn't touch him or hurt him. It was never aggressive. I just wanted my things back, and I didn't touch him or choke him or anything.
I got it. I'm just telling you what the law is. You put your hands on him in an aggressive way because you wanted your charger back,
Okay.
which he had taken, but he had not taken off your person. If he took it, he had taken it from where you left it because he was annoyed that you were texting other guys, according to you, because he had been gone for a week. You can text whoever you like. Okay, so now you've taken his glasses off and you've taken his badge off, which was on a lanyard. What happened next?
After he turned around and he
Started to tussle with you, which is
tussling
what
for
you
his
said.
things, and then afterwards we fell over the couch. And at this point, he had his forearm on my neck, so at this I can't breathe.
No, ma'am.
I told him, get off of me. DeVon, you're hurting me. You're choking me. I cannot breathe. Please get off of me. Get off of me.
He's on you with his forearm on your neck.
Yes.
And
so at this point, he gets his things. He grabs his stuff.
okay, so he not choking you anymore. And
He gets up and he
look at me.
put his glasses on. And then at this point, he's standing over me. I'm still on the floor, and I'm telling him to get off of me. Or not
No,
get
he's
off of me,
already
or get
off
away
of you.
from me.
He's already off of you, Miss
Yes.
Williams. He's gotten his things. He put his glasses on, which means both hands were
Correct.
putting his glasses on. So he's not
standing
on
over
top
me.
of you anymore.
But he's standing over me.
So
I
he was
just-
standing. And
I push him away. I said, get out, get out. I don't want you here. Get out, please get out. So at this point, I'm shoving him away from me.
okay, so again, he's standing there and you're pushing him.
Yes, pushing
Go
him
ahead.
off of me. And then that's when he did a closed fist and hit me right here on the side of my face.
Okay.
So I passed out. I didn't know, I blacked out. And then after I had gotten up and I cried, I said, why did you hit me? Why would you hit me like this? Like, why? And then he just kept going back and forth. So I
Back
get
and
up
forth where?
From the front door to the back room to the front door.
Was he taking his things out?
I don't know what he was taking.
Okay, so he's
at
going
this
from the
point.
back door to the front door, but he had packed his things.
Right.
Okay.
So I get up, and that's when he turned around, and I can't, right now, I'm imbalanced. I can't even stand up right because he whacked me so hard. So at this point, he stood up and said, you want to fight me? Fight me.
Not true.
And he put up his hands, so that's when I put up my hands. And then I went to hit him, and then that's when he had started throwing punches at me, like back to back to back to back. And I busted my lip, so...
Okay, so let me understand this. You both got up, and he said, you want to fight me? So you put up your hands, both of you put up your hands, and you went to punch him. That's what you just told me. Missed, I assume.
Missed.
And then he hit you.
Yes.
Okay, so again, you went to punch him.
And I missed, and that's when he...
Okay, fine. Now I got it. And then,
that's when he started hitting me.
okay, so now you're fighting.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I told him to stop as soon as I saw blood was everywhere, literally on the wall and the floor. And he stopped.
But let me ask you this question. From all this fighting and tussling, was Mr. Clarence visibly hurt anywhere?
No.
Did he have any mark whatsoever?
No.
So you never connected with him in anything that you did. So far, correct?
No, ma'am. I had scratches on my neck, and she did not put her hands up to fight me. She actually threw a car battery at my hands.
No, that is so untrue.
I have pictures of the car battery and it being broken, if you would like to see that.
Okay, I'm going to get to you in a second. Anyway, that's when he left. Did you go to work?
No, ma'am.
What did you do?
So I had to go sleep in my car because I didn't have my glasses.
Where were your glasses?
Inside the house.
So you left without your glasses?
Yes, ma'am.
He had his glasses on that
No, I did
night, the whole time.
Is that what your testimony said?
Shh.
I'm sorry.
I'm not there with you.
Okay. When did you call the police, Miss Williams?
I didn't. He took my phone.
Okay.
He had
Well,
taken my
somehow the police were contacted?
I don't know how they were contacted. I had to escape him.
When you escaped him on the 20th, did you take your children?
I took them. Yes, I did.
Was he in the house?
He was inside and out of the house. So, Yana, can I add one more thing? So after all that happened, that's when he did leave. I had the opportunity to get his clothes. I put his car battery in the hamper that he was packing his stuff at, threw it outside of the apartment, and then I closed the door, locked it so he wouldn't get in. So at this point, I'm looking for the phone to call the emergency services. However, he goes up to the window and says, "Looking for this?" And it was my phone. So I had to find another device in the house to try to at least get a recording or to find something to say, you know, I have to verify this because I feel like nobody's going to believe me even if I was, you know, if I made this up. So I had to record it off of my son's tablet. I have a video of the injuries of the night that it happened.
Well, you have hospital records because you say that you went to the hospital the next day.
Yes, ma'am, I did. I went to the hospital and they diagnosed me.
No. I want to see the hospital records.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you weren't admitted to the hospital. You were just seen by somebody the next day. What time the next day?
It was around 11, 10 o'clock. My mother had taken me to the hospital.
How did you get in touch with your mother?
After I left the house.
How did you leave the house? Right now he's locked out. You locked the door. And you're looking for something to record him. Mm-hmm. And you found something to record him.
Which was my son's tablet.
And
that's when I went into the living room. I brought my kids to the living room with me, and I had to wait it out because I didn't want to go out there like he was just going crazy, like monstrosity. But I was afraid to go out there. So that's when I had locked in. I locked myself in, waited until the morning. He cannot go 24 hours without going to sleep. So I said, I'm going to take my advantage, wait till he goes to sleep. And he went to sleep in his car. And I got my keys. And I grabbed my two kids, barefooted and all, no clothes. And he had set the alarm.
Just a second. So you grabbed your kids and took them out to your truck.
Yes.
And drove where?
I drove to my auntie's house.
At what time? This is on the 21st?
Yes, the 21st. It was around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
And you drove to your aunt's house, and what did you do?
I went into my auntie's, and she called my mom. When she called my mom, that's when my mom had came over to her house and saw the injuries. And she said, we need to go to the hospital because we don't know how bad or how severe your injuries are. So that's when I was like, okay, I can go to the hospital. And she drove me there. I couldn't make a police report or assault report with the hospital because they were going...
No. You can't tell me what happened at the hospital that you couldn't.
Right.
You went to the hospital.
And then...
You weren't admitted. You were seen by a doctor.
I was seen by the doctor. I wasn't, in fact, admitted.
If you were admitted to a hospital, I want to see those medical records.
Okay.
This isn't a medical record. This is a one-pager on a visit that you had where you complained about an assault, and the doctor did notice some abrasions on your face.
Okay.
Doesn't say you were admitted anywhere.
I'm sorry, I don't have that one on me.
Okay. So now let's move on. So you drove your kids about 10 miles to your aunt's house. You stayed at your aunt's house for a while. Your aunt called your mother. Your mother came and said, I think we should go to the hospital and check out your injuries. And
that's when
I want to know how the police got involved.
So the hospital called the police.
So you're saying it wasn't you, the hospital called the police, so the police came to the hospital?
The police came, but they wasn't able to. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was one of a county issue with the situation.
You want to tell me?
Yes, she'll be able to tell you better.
So, Judge, when we went to the hospital, so the hospital is between Harris County Sheriff Department and HPD. So when we...
Well, he was arrested somewhere.
Right.
So he was arrested somewhere.
Right.
On what date were you arrested?
I was arrested on February 24th, so 4 days after this incident.
Okay. I assume you asked your daughter what happened when you, either driving to the hospital or when you got to your sister's house.
Yes.
At the time you asked her what happened, did she tell you that they had been in a fight?
Well, I could see they had been in a fight.
Well,
but...
no, there's a difference between a fight, which is mutual combat.
Right.
And an assault, which suggests that there was only one victim and one perpetrator.
Yes.
So what I want to know is, whether your daughter discussed with you the facts that she's just relayed to me. That's a question, not a ha-ha.
Right.
Did she tell you that they were fighting?
Yes, she did.
Did she tell you that she at any point put her hands on him?
No, and she didn't because her mouth was so bad. She
Just
really
a second.
couldn't explain.
She did. She just told me.
Yes, but she didn't explain it to me that way.
I know, but she just explained it to me that way. I'm not putting a judicial imprimatur on anybody's assaultive conduct.
Right.
But you have to understand that in a fight, somebody ends up at the bottom of the barrel and somebody at the top of the barrel.
I agree.
That at some point he got up and she went to throw a punch at him and missed.
Right.
And then he punched her and he continued to punch her. You did hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to see a video.
Just press play.
DeVon is hitting me. I have no phone. He took my phone. He took everything, and I'm helpless. So I'm trying to get out of here, but I need proof. This is proof. He's hitting on me. I have blood everywhere. I have blood everywhere. Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm scared, dude. He is crazy. He is really, really crazy.
Okay. Would it be a fair statement, Mr. Clarence, that you did in fact punch her in the mouth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I want you to tell me, because I see she's injured, her mouth is injured. I want you to tell me in your own voice what precipitated that, because that's a nasty hit in the mouth.
So when we flipped over the couch, I stood up, and she says that she pushed me off, but she actually reached her hands up and grabbed me by the testicles, and that's when I punched her. Right after punching her, she let go. I ran to the door. When I ran to the door, she followed behind me with a car battery. She picked it up, and she tossed it in my direction, which caused for me to have an injury to my hand.
You have photographs of that?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
That's not true. That's the battery.
This was taken a couple days afterwards when the
By
swelling
whom?
went down.
By whom?
By me.
Is that the only injury that you sustained?
No, ma'am. I also from when she was choking me with my work lanyard. I also have pictures of my neck that was taken that next morning.
I'd like to see it.
Untrue.
Don't speak. Don't speak. You're talking about this cut?
Yes, ma'am.
And where was that?
That's on my neck. That was right here, across the front.
Oh, I see. Okay. Go ahead.
So when we were tussling, so she threw the car battery at my hand. I looked down at my hand. I look at the broken doorknob. And when I'm looking at the broken doorknob, I look back up.
Which doorknob is?
The front door. Well, from when I grabbed the door, and when she tossed it, it hit my hand and slammed the doorknob down.
Okay.
So I look down at my hand and I see nothing but white inside of my hand. My hand was bleeding. Well, it was about to start bleeding, but I saw the white, I saw the bone, I saw everything. So I looked up and I was like, what did you do? Are you crazy? And at that point, she says, I don't care anymore. She grabs me by my shirt and she pulls me into the house and starts punching me. Oh. At that point, when she starts punching me, I was like, you know what, that's it. And I started going back at with her.
No.
After punches were exchanged, I left.
Judge, those are the punches on the video that he did.
Just a second. I saw that she had an injury. He acknowledges that he hit her in the mouth.
So what I want to also add to that, because I saw him that same morning, I talked to him. He claimed at 7 o'clock in the morning he was on his way to a funeral. I told him, I said, well, look, I just spoke with my sister. I'm going by and get the kids some stuff. Don't come to the apartment. He shows up, nothing wrong. I didn't see a scratch anywhere. And I asked him, why are you here? Well, I just come let you know that I filed a police report. Why are you here?
Shh, just a second. So he filed a police report. Can I see a copy of that police report? Do you have it?
I do not have a copy of the police report.
So after he told you that he filed a police report, you went back to your sister's house. I assume you got...
No, I hadn't went to my sister's house. So my sister called me.
To go get things... Just a second. Look. Your sister called you and told you that your daughter
Right.
was there with your
Right.
grandchildren.
Right.
Could you go and pick up things for them?
Right.
So you drove over to the apartment where they had lived together.
Right.
He came,
Right.
said, I've just filed a police report against your daughter.
Right.
Then you went to your sister's house and you decided to go to the emergency room of the hospital.
Yes.
And then you filed a police report, or your daughter did.
We didn't file it at the hospital.
No, I didn't say at the hospital. Subsequently,
Yes,
you
we
filed
did.
a police
Yes, we did.
report.
Correct.
Do you have a copy of that police report?
I have my affidavit.
I don't want an affidavit. I
police
want
report. We should have
a
it.
copy of the
Sure.
police report.
Let me see. That's it.
That's it.
Okay, Kevin.
Alongside with my injuries that
I saw your injury. Well, this police report, the charge is assault of a family member impeding breathing.
yes.
And the affidavit reads, defendant, on or about February 20th, did then and there unlawfully, intentionally, and knowingly cause bodily injury to Safari Williams, the complainant, with whom the defendant had a dating relationship by impeding the normal breathing and circulation of blood by applying pressure to the complainant's throat. Okay.
So right here, I have a copy of the motion to dismiss, which shows that they dropped the impeding breath, showing that I did not choke her.
That we know. The case was dismissed. Do you have a copy of the visitation order? You don't have joint custody because you indicated you had joint custody.
We have joint custody now.
When were you granted joint custody?
August 1st.
Was that after the mediation?
After the mediation, yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Williams, did you consent to the joint custody? Or did the mediator, after the trial, recommend joint custody?
Yes, I did consent to it.
You did. And that was the mediator's recommendation.
Correct.
Okay. The only thing I have to ask you, Mr. Clarence, is for what period of time from the 20th of February was it until August or October that you didn't see the children?
So actually, it wasn't actually until that June. Orders were signed October. She failed to sign the children up for the domestic relation office for the supervised visitation. She failed to sign them up for another 6 months.
Not true.
That's
So it was an additional 6 months?
an additional 6 months.
Okay.
Judge, during that time where he was saying that he was trying to see the kids, he wasn't paying child support.
I don't care whether he was or whether he wasn't. I wouldn't pay child support if I had an order that said I couldn't see my children. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But it wasn't one of those keep the children type things away. It definitely wasn't. And when
Miss Williams, Miss Williams, I'm done with this case. I got it in his complaint.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that I find actually viable, because they did in fact, both of them engage in domestic violence against each other on February 20th. This is not a I say, you say. This is
because I went into the apartment and he had tape. He had electrical tape on the door. He kept my door there all night.
I want you to not speak. I want you to listen.
Okay.
I'm finished with the fact finding in this case. Your daughter and Mr. Clarence had a domestic incident on February 20th. It is clear to me that your daughter got the worst of the physical bargain, but she was, in fact, the aggressor. She did, in fact, put her hands on him first. I'm not asking you a question. I'm telling you, based upon what she told me, she put her hands on him first, twice. They had a fight. It was unpleasant, and she ended up certainly more injured than he did. It was nasty.
Yes, it was.
There is not a scintilla of evidence that Mr. Clarence should have been denied seeing his children as a result of a restraining order for over a year.
He wasn't.
Just a second. Sit. Now you don't get it. Okay. Now you don't get it. I'm not listening to you. Now I'm ruling. There is not a scintilla of evidence that Mr. Clarence, who lived with these children for 4.5 years, who took care of them regularly alone, should have been denied seeing his children for over a year. And that's what happened because she asked for a restraining order that included the children. That's what happened. And that's outrageous because two adults who have children can fight with each other and they can be angry with each other and they can be vicious with each other, which they were, but they created two children. And the proof of the pudding is in the tasting because after it was all said and done, Mr. Clarence has joint custody of the children. So for a person that went from not being able to see his children then to supervise visits because that's what he asked for. And that took an additional 6 months. That is an outrageous outcome. Outrageous. Because I know that you would think it was outrageous if Mr. Clarence prevented your daughter from seeing the children for 2 days, for 1 day. I would think it was outrageous. And in this country, mothers and fathers have the same rights to children. Not they're her children or his children, they are their children. And if she feels threatened by him and had a protective order, that's okay. But then you are cooperative with regard to seeing the children, either in a supervised manner or some other manner. But asking for a restraining order that includes the children when there was never any indication that Mr. Clarence was an irresponsible parent is outrageous. I find that on the cross-complaint for assault, I find that Miss Williams was, in fact, seriously injured in her mouth as a result of this altercation. I also find that she was the provocateur because she put her hands on him first. So I'm dismissing your cross-complaint and I'm granting your complaint, Mr. Clarence, with regard to the children and the protective order which precluded you from seeing your children for that length of time. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. On that issue alone, the remainder of your complaint is dismissed. Your counterclaim is dismissed for the reasons that I've stated. We're finished here. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
This court is
I don't believe that I was ever the aggressor. He was always the person to gaslight me, especially when he brought the kids or he always taking the kids.
I've never gaslit her. I've always told her exactly what things are, told her the truth on matters. And a lot of people just can't handle the truth on things. So if you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen then.
He saw that I didn't care anymore. He saw that I dried up and just said, you know what, it's done. So if you want to leave, leave, please.
No, that day I had a cool head. I tried my best to get out that situation. Made many attempts a beeline for the door. And she just wouldn't let me leave.
I just want to be a mom. Just like he want to be a dad so bad, let me be a mom. But I could never get that from him, so.
I try to keep things cordial so the way my children can grow up in a favorable household.
I think a big thing that I'm sure happens, you've seen it far more frequently than I have, but I'm sure it happens a lot, is mothers or fathers, but mostly mothers, who get into domestic violence situations or even assaults, even though here we decided that it was more of a mutual combat situation, but even so, they feel that they need a restraining order to protect themselves from their partner. And that's fair. You know, you feel threatened, your life, your safety, but that does not automatically transfer to children, like you said, that you share together. Because as we saw here, with very little, you know, we found out in the first 5 minutes of questioning that this was more of a mutual combat than a one-sided assault.
She just got the worst bargain.
Of course, but still not enough to keep a man from his children for over a year.
You know, it's sort of interesting. It's easier and safer for judges, for family court judges or criminal court judges to sign off on these sweeping protective orders that cover place of work, your home, the children's school, the children. It just is easier to check all the boxes and say, we'll take care of it at trial. Well, that might be okay if everybody gets a trial in a week. Mm-hmm. In this case, it took 3 years for it to be resolved. So,
for something he probably should have had from the beginning, joint custody, you know, given that they both cared for the children together.
And certainly not deprived of any contact whatsoever for well over a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow, this is funny. But honestly, I don't know what to say about this. Let's know your thoughts in the comments section. If you find this video interesting, please hit the subscribe button, like, turn on your notification bell so you won't miss any update. Bye.